Thank you. We are all welcome to today's presentation hands-on on Python. And today we have different sections as we're rounding up the first phase of this particular training. So I want to employ us, please don't rush out. Take your time, ask questions. And concerning the application of everything we've been talking about in industry level, in academics, in our research, we also share more light on that. And at the end of the day, I believe all of us will be able to be, you'll find a place where you can, hang on. And we'll all be blessed. So without much ado, I would like to call Mr. Gusoya. If you are there, please, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm there with you. Good day, all. How has been our weekend? Okay, so we want to conclude what we started like yesterday. And okay, I hope we can all see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, fantastic. Okay, so all right, so I don't know if some of us are having, I know one or two persons called and they're still having issues as we talk, and I don't know how we can sort out that now that will not affect this lecture. But nevertheless, listen, as many things you can jot, please do that. We will resolve all issues. All issues are meant for us to be resolved. We are data scientists. Okay, so for those of us that are probably joining us afresh, we did not just get to this point. We started from last week, and the concept is that for us to get to this point I am now, you have to open your Jupyter notebook. For everything you want to do here, the first thing you should do is to open your Jupyter. Don't launch your file through your folder the normal way you sometimes you do your Microsoft Word, or you just click the file and the thing will pop up, it will just open. This does not behave like that. If you try it, it will open as a notepad, and even a scattered, give you things that you don't even understand the writing. So please, the first thing you do is to open your IDE, okay? So that will help you to launch your Python. So if you want to do that, you type your Jupyter. I've already launched it, so I will type my own Jupyter here, and so just click your own Jupyter notebook, click it, it will open through your browser, your default browser. Okay, my own default browser is Google Chrome. All right, so it will take you to this place. Okay, so it will appear in this form. Then locate the folder where you have the file. So I think my own is in document. Okay, and the document, I have it as data mine class. Okay, so and the file for today's class is Uber. Uber is the use case that we are looking at this morning, this night. Okay, we're in Nigeria. All right, so you click it and it will open another browser for you. Then it will take you to this case. Okay. Okay, so if you are starting afresh, if you just jump straight to what I want to do now, you won't be able to do it because your new Jupyter will not recognize this. So you need to run it afresh. Okay, so you need to run all of this code from the beginning. Import the library that will make it function and use this library as NP. All right, so I have done all of that. You can do it and see if there are issues with your own. Okay, so we explain the descriptive that we did, okay, just to get the insight to the data, to understand what the data is saying, to understand the pattern inherent in that data, to bring out the hidden details that in those data sets together. Okay, so that is why we are going through all of this process. And we have been able to see the breakdown of, because time is very precious to this work. And that's why we needed to break down the dates, the time, and even the year, okay? Because this data set is between January and June, okay? But if you look at the original data, it is not clearly stated there. But based on some of the work we have done, we have been able to identify that it's actually from January to June. And we also identify all the councils in New York City that we have 5, though originally it is 5, but there is not a number which appearing as if is another council on its own. So we decided to treat it as that in order to enable us to solve this problem. So we went ahead again to convert the date from string, because it was showing object in our data type. Sorry. So because it was reporting it as object, we needed to treat it so that it can give us the actual format that Python understand. So we look at the descriptives. Okay, that was yesterday. So we converted that time to recognize. So if we now we requested for the data type of the data set, it gave us, converted the pickup time to date time 64 bits. All right. So we also look at the minimum value and the maximum value. For those of you that have tried it to this point, for today again, maybe your kernel is sleeping or it has gone down, so you need to restart it. And when you restart it, that means that it might not recognize some of the things you have done before. So you will be forced to start all over again to run the code so that it can recognize and work with those informations that are there before. Okay, so we stop at this point. We want to now extract the date. And we said the reason is that we want to see specifically how month, time, or hour, and that hour could be at what time do you have peak periods? At what time do we see the demand going beyond the boundary? We are also going to see it in our descriptive part, but we just want to have those things, separated so that when we are running visualizations, we can see clearly how dates, weekdays, weekends affect pickup. All right, so we go. All right. I assume that our code is working. If there's no error, complain. we move on to removing the pickup date column. And we said, because we have extracted those time already, so there's no point still keeping the pickup underscore date date and time. So let's drop it so that we can fully recognize this. But we said we can still leave it, okay? But for the purpose of this work, let's stop it so that we can reduce tautology. So if you perform that, it will give you this, okay? So this tail is to give us the last 5. Hello? Okay. All right, so it has deleted the pickup and now gave it in form of the start year, the start month, and the hour, okay? And also show us the week, day, the precise day. So we can also look at the aggregate of the dates and check which of them has the highest number, which is the mode, okay, of pickup invariably. So, and that is what our descriptive is very eventually going to show us in the course of that. Okay, so we do that descriptive of what we have done, most especially the peak. So we are now, our interest is now the time, because we have others before, except the start year, the month, and the, okay, so we have, well, we still discover that we still have not a number in our data. Okay, I think I think we have done all of this. So okay, I've forgotten. So let's just run it again. So we have this, which shows, and we treated this yesterday, okay, using normalize, and we said the concept of normalize is to find the proportion. We compare the number to the total numbers, just like a probability, okay, of the sample size. So we also discovered that NA is carrying like similar percentage of while others is carrying. And we did this, we find the actual value, okay. Okay, so we decided to call the NA, the NAN unknown, because of the fact that is about 3,000 data set rows that we have this NAN. So that means that it could also stand as a state, as a council in New York City. Okay, so we treated it as part of the borough in New York City. And after treating that, because we have recognized it as unknown, we have everything now. So there's nothing like NAN again in borough, because it is now representing another council in New York City. So we look at the temperature. We also hello, any question? Okay. Okay, so we also treated the temperature rather. Okay, so we look at what council do we have the norm, the NA, and what date do we also have it. So based on what we have done, we discovered that most of the 3589 actually in Brooklyn and January. So if you check these two, it means that which is the total number of the temperature that have the NA. So indirectly, the two the Brooklyn and January, all of them, the actually contain the NA. So what do? We also check the number of days. Days is between 1 to 30. So which of the day between 1 to 30 also have it? So we find out using unique. So we have 1 to 15. That's the 1 to 15 also contain this norm. And so what do we now next? What is the next thing for us to do? Okay, so that's the next thing we need to do now. So we want to find out again, because we want to treat the temperature. And I told you because that if you are dealing with numerics, you can adopt any method of the average that we know, which is the mean, mode, and the median. Okay. But most times we use the median because it does not it actually treats it accommodates outliers treatment. But when you look at the set of data and you find out that the mean is likely equals to the median, you can use the median as well to fit your missing value of numeric value. If you look at the way we treated the categorical, it's not the same thing the way we treat a numerical data. So mean is adopted here. That is why we have dot mean in this case. Okay, so he has responded. So everywhere you find the norm, I mean NaN, fill that place with the average mean, average value in that particular column. That's what that code is saying. So if you check our values again, we will discover that temperature is gone. Temperature is gone. The reason why this is also still seeing it is that we are seeing this as a NA, we are seeing it as another entity, as object. So it's still recognizing it as okay, no, because I've not run that particular I've not run this one. I just jumped. You know, I told you that in the beginning, because I'm starting this thing afresh. So it's seeing everything that I'm doing as fresh. So it is expected that I rerun some of these things that I've run yesterday so that it can recognize it. So I'm going to go back again. I think I stopped here. I'm going to run it so that it can fully reflect what we are doing. Okay. Let me know if, yeah. Okay, so no, this thing is still giving me 304. Supposed not to give me 343. It's not showing me any error. What's the problem? Okay, let's move. Okay. All right, so let's move to
Monica, you at least lucked out with your portion size. No getting around it. We'll all have to drink this fiery lava this round.
Okay.
Oh, my whole face is burning up.
Doctor, can you help us out with it?
Yes.
Take us a month.
There's somebody playing a gig.
You can continue. Don't worry, sir.
Okay. All right. So we want to go to the numeric. I mean the exploratory and data visualization. In our lecture yesterday, we mentioned univariate analysis, where a variable is considered in our description of why one variable is used for our chart, graph, or for plotting. And we can use that, we can use it for categorical and numerical variables. So we have, for numerics, we have histogram and box plot will be suitable for this, while for categorical, you can use your bar charts and other charts, like even pie charts as well, to make your illustration. So yesterday we used histogram, violin, and which other ones that we did? Okay, so you can use any one that you understand. And I know that we understand very well the box plot. Box plot, this is the first quarter, the third quarter. The difference of this will determine where the weight scale will be. Okay, and you multiply it by 1.5, you deduct it from here to get this, and you add the 1.5 times the interquarter range. And the interquarter range is the difference between Q3 and Q1. And that is how system calculates the box plot, and it will dictate the outliers for us. Because even what we call the outliers is part of the data set, but there is specific range of numbers, values that is expected before you classify a data point as the outlier. So automatically, based on this original arithmetic that we know in descriptive statistics, that this is our Q3, this is our Q1, okay, and you find the difference, multiply it by 1.3, add it to what you have here, it will give you the maximum, and remove it from here, you will also give you the minimum. Okay, so let's look at, for this, like we said, we'll be making use of Seaborn, okay, which indirectly also make use of the Matplot library. Okay, so it's just a development from the library of the Matplot. So let's see what we have of the histogram of the PCOR. Okay, PCOR. So this is our PCOR. So who is going to at least explain to me from what we have seen here? What can you say about it? Okay, though I have some comments. Okay, it's not yes at the last part of the. So can we just speak to this if you understand what we have done, what has happened here? Let's go to the histogram first. You can unmute yourself and speak. I just want us to speak. Like we said, that one of our characteristics is the ability to look at some of these things and interpret and speak to them. So you can speak to this using the skewness to talk about it because it's a pickup. This is numbers, okay? So between 0 and 1,000, we have the majority of the pickup. And at this point, it shows that nobody is talking. I know we have great statisticians in the house. I want us to speak to it. I don't know it. I don't want to be speaking. I want everybody to be. Please, I just need somebody to speak to it. Hello. Are we together? Am I speaking to myself alone? Don't do that to me. Please help me. Hello. Dr. Okay. I want to be sure everybody's hearing me.
Yes.
Okay. So just speak. Don't because to read the comment might not.
We are hearing you.
Okay. Now I just want somebody to speak to this diagram based on their previous knowledge of the little maths and statistics that we have done before coming to this class. Okay. Okay, so this is a positively skewed distribution. So that means that the higher the number, the reduction in count. Okay, so and that's what this is speaking to us. We also have here a lot of outliers. Like I told you, like even the minimum value here seems to be the minimum value here seems to be the Q1, because I can't even find the lower whiskey of this, which is the minimum value expected according to this diagram. But we have most of the data at the outlier at the upper part, which are outlier based on the distribution of the data. Of course, if you look at what we have here, you will see some data, along between 6,000 down to 1,000, between 1,000 to 5,500. Okay, they are very, very small. Okay, but if you look at between 0 and 1,000, we have the very thick, very high number, but then the count is low. I mean, the count is high at between 0 and maybe 10 or 100, because it's not clearly shown because of the data is large here, between 0 to 1,000. But here we have the medium is closer even to the, allow a lot of data in the positive part of the, which also supports what the histogram is showing us. Skewed and heavily with heavy outliers at the upper part of it. So we want to look at the visibility. So the VSB talks about the visibility, and let me see if I don't have, but I'll show us, because I've actually done the descriptions of this separately so that all of us can also describe it on our own and compare our interpretation. Okay, so we have this. Let's look at the code. It's also histogram and box plot. Okay, but if you see this, we can say who is going to respond to this. It's like the opposite of the other one that we saw. And if you check this again, is the minimum. We have the outlier at the minimum level. So the negative is negatively skewed. Negatively skewed with heavy tail, okay, which shows that this data set is heavily contain a lot of outliers, and but because the value is large, if you indirectly check the mean, I don't see the mean, I mean the outliers strongly affecting the distributions of the data or the mean. The mean is likely tends to be the same thing with the median. So if you look at what we have here, even here, we can find the mean is like the quarter 3 of this data set. The quarter 3 of this data set. You can check the temperature as well, okay, which is the one we just managed to treat. Okay, so this is with many, is having many peaks. We can't directly call it multimodal because, but you also look like a normal multimodal distribution, because if you look at the data arrangement towards the left, towards the right, it's not necessarily the same, because if you check what the normality we check, you will consider the data at 0.05 significant level. Okay, so based on that concept, we can also still accept this temperature as a normal, not fully normally distributed, but it can still accommodate it. That was why we use mean to find the immutation, to compute the average of that particular value when we wanted to treat the missing value. Okay. So if you also look at the mean, if you look at the median, it's actually dividing the data into 2 equal parts. I'm talking about the Q1 and the Q2. So if you find this difference between the two of them, it's going to be extremely small, if not, because this distance here is like the same distance we have here. And if you look at what we have here, and it seems as if there's no outlier in this data set. So for this temperature, we said it is good, there's no outlier in this data set. So I still want to believe that because we have treated it, maybe that is why the outlier actually diverges. So we look at the dew. Okay, so the dew, the temperature consists of the visibility. Okay, so we are seeing the dew. Now we are looking at the dew point. Remember that what we are trying to look at is the factors that are affecting pickup. Okay, and these are the set of data given to us: dew point, temperature, visibility, the time, the day, and some other factors that they felt that it can affect the pickup. So our duty is to show how these things actually affect it. Okay, so we also have the sea level data. Okay, so this could also be described, like I said, though non-normally distributed, I know some distribution specialists will actually deal with me calling that particular set of data normally distributed, but we can accommodate it. We can, for the purpose of the study, because we are not really doing distribution, but for the purpose of the study, we can take it. I'm trying to look for where I summarize all this information. I can't find it again. Okay, but for this dew point, we have few, I mean, okay, sea level, we have approximately same outliers, you know, from what we have seen. The mean is also, the median is also at a point trying to bring a close division between the Q1 and the Q3. And the minimum value and the maximum value also gave us the indication that we have some of these. So we have, I mean, some outliers. So you have liquid precipitations. We have at 1 hour liquid precipitations. So liquid precipitations is the rain or water that probably fall or freeze in the course of the day. So want to see how that liquid precipitations also affect at 1 hour, 6 hours, and probably 24 hours, how it affects pickup or the activity. So we have it at, so we have the histogram, and we also have so we have the peak at between 115, let me say 15, if I can, is it 15 or 112? 1012 to 1025. Okay, where we have our Q1 and Q3 showing the distributions of this data, and the maximum value that can accommodate within this range is 104, 1040 to 90, let's say 980 from this point. Okay, so all these things, we can continue running them so that my time, because what I'm just doing, they are showing the same. This is also, you know, positively skewed. What is 24 saying, and what is, so what we know about skewnesses and kurtosis is that when you have all your data at a particular, you know, when the tail is longer towards the right, it is positive, and when it is short, longer to the left, it is negatively skewed. Okay, so okay, so I now want to consider data that are not numbers, they are not numeric in nature. So I can't do histogram like we said. What you need to do is to look at the plots, and it's either you do a bar plot, okay, or a pie plot. So we have decided to do the bar to show holiday, and we have what we have in the holiday is that, are you picking this vehicle when you are in holiday? So the answer is no. And this one says yes, so means that holiday is not significant in this relationship or in the pickup. So sometimes it shows that most of the people that use this are not actually using it for, not because they're on holiday, but it could be for something which we can later dig into for further analysis. Okay, so we look at the count based on what's it called now? The bureau. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where's the unknown? Okay. So, all right. So based on the bureau now, we look at the count, the plot for each council. And if you check what we got the other time, the value is the same thing throughout. Okay, so we don't have this particular plot is not really necessary. Okay, because looking at the data itself shows that all of them have the same value. All of them have the same value, 4,030 something. So let's now look at, we want to compare two values. We want to, use it. I want to use their visualizations to explain relationship. Okay, instead of me trying to do modeling, so I just go straight and apply bivariate analysis using visualization. So we can do it for two categorical data, two numerical, and sometimes one numerical and one categorical. So we'll do the numerical, which is a correlation. We can use correlation, and this correlation, like the example we gave, we are going to make use of heat map. There are several, methods you can use for it, depending on the documentations. I can modify this and still get something different from what I have gotten, but our result will be the same. It can just be that the color could be different, okay, and the arrangement of the data will be different. So for the purpose of this lecture, you can read more. Like we said yesterday, that seaborne documentation is highly loaded, powerful. There is no level. You can continue studying as a course, the way I studied statistics. You can study seaborne because it contains a lot of details and can support visualizations for those of us that are in the field of data science. Okay, so this is our result. Okay, so if I want the figure to be, I want the 7 to, I think the 15 is too much. Okay, maybe let me adjust this and see what will give me 5. Okay, so I think it's better. For those of you that uses glasses, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. So let's because I want everything to appear in just a page. So based on this, now we can speak to this. Look at the blue color, shows strong and positive. Why which color is this? Is it amber, red? Somebody should just help me out. Okay. Is it red or amber? Very thick one, negative, though strong, but it's a negative relationship. So this is when you are correlating the same value. So automatically it will be the same. If you correlate Yinka as against Yinka, you get 1. So there's nothing will be different. When you check my head with the head of Yinka, it's still the same. My leg, so that's why we have all of this. But this is minus negative 45, I mean 4.5, which shows that it is a negative, moderately negative relationship. Minus 0.31, 0.89, that is dew and temperature. So temperature and dew affect each other. Okay, so I can say temperature, when there is dew, the temperature will be high. Or when yes, because it's positive. When the temperature increases, the dew supposed to increase. Is that a correct analysis? Yes, yes. Because the two of them shows the same directions, positive. Why this precipitation 1 says when there's visibility, there's a low precipitation. When there is low precipitation, therefore the visibility will be high. The visibility will be high. So you can look at several others and look based on the interpretations we know about correlations. Correlation is also a study that we need to understand very well. I know that when one of our senior colleague in that field will be speaking, he will also speak on some of these things that we have
Sorry,
spoken.
sir. Before you move
Sir.
on, yes, at that particular this heat map,
Yeah.
probably later you can do that, just to pick few of those the variable that we are trying to consider. The way we put the comments, I would like you to put the comments for the purpose of this training.
Okay.
Just to interpret like 2 or 3 more in the comments.
Okay. Yes, actually.
Yes, so that people can now begin to work on that, especially those that positively correlated, negatively correlated, and the way we can map them. Thank you.
Okay. I think it's script 1. Let me check it. Okay, now this. I don't know what I used to. I saved them as my own so that I will allow others to make their own interpretation. But I have all the summaries of these things at the end of this class, at the insight.
Okay.
Okay, so the essence of all of this is described in our conclusion, and which is still part of what we have now. Okay, so we can also use thank you, sir. We can also use scattered plots to explain the same thing that we are saying. That is showing the relationship between X and Y, which is what we know to be regressing one variable on the another. Regressing one variable on another. Okay. I have a meeting. Okay, so this kernel density estimation, this KDE, is saying that let's draw a normal fitting on those. Okay, this is okay, we are using PF plot first. PF plot was also described, I remember when we were doing R, is the same result, but just different command. So it's going to pick each one of them and show us the plot, the relationship between the two of them, each two Okay, that's what this plot's supposed to do. Don't know why it's taking that long to. And at the diagonal is going to show us the density function, density diagram of the relationship between each, the two of them. So small, I can't see them. So, but what it's doing is that it's picking all the numerical values, okay, and correlate and find the relationship between each one. Take all numerical value along the y-axis and the same numerical value along the y-axis and the x-axis, and it will plot the data points as against each other, and let us see the direction of our data. Okay, so if you look at these two, shows maybe that I think should be temperature or dew, because those are issues. Let me go down. Okay, temperature. Is it temperature or dew? I don't know. It's having a, yes, it's temperature. Yes, temperature. All right. The reason why I'm suspecting it, because those are two data points that gave me shows in the histogram that they are normally distributed. So it shows that, and if you look at the heat plot that we did, they have 90, these two are the same, okay? They are saying the same thing. It's just that this one is picking it. Okay, this is the temperature. It's picking it at the other side of it. So shows that this one is moving up as this one is also moving up. I think that is the value that gave us 0.89. Mean that there is a perfect, not really perfect, but strong positive correlation between the dew and temperature. Dew and temperature. So we can now check the trend between pickup across different times, pickup time. So which is important to this study. The pickup time is very, very key. So we want to look at pickup across months. Okay. Okay, so don't get worried over the pink information. It's not red and it's not saying error. It's only complaining about the kernel. The kernel is, I think, is old. My Jupyter could be very old, so don't. It's not really complaining that the work is not doing it.
And
okay, so
I think it's the same thing on my own side too.
Fine.
But if you scroll up, let's see the diagram, please.
Okay, my own.
Yes. But that's not what I'm getting here. What I got is quite different from your own. Yes.
Are you
everything? Okay, there are two.
Yeah, two. Maybe you are using the. Am I the one using the second one or you?
No, we are using the both. Don't worry. When you run the second one, it will show the same thing I have.
Okay. Let me try the second one before we speak on. Is it the same thing? Is it the one you are talking about?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's. What about this?
Yes, I have the same thing.
Okay. So in this case now, this is easy for us to speak. Okay. On. I don't know if it's will be giving anybody a challenge. You can see a trend here from January is tending, which you have a sharp movement upward. At the point of February, it seems as if the pickup looks constant. The total, look the same from the, not necessarily the same, but they look as if it's a straight line. So that means that the total pickup here in February to April looks similar. So the traffic is constant, no really change in margin at this point. The YD here is tending towards zero. The change here is not significant. But April, there's a spark, okay, in the pickup. So which we can't really say is we can later understand what causes that. But for now, the only thing we are doing is just, we are only speaking to the data, okay? We're only speaking to it. We are not doing any manipulation. So we can see that again, at May, it's still moving upward, but not at the margin that it moved from April to May. So what happened in April, May, or maybe something actually happened in February to April, we can't really say, okay? But if we follow this trend, we have a uniform movement here, and at this point, there's a spark, or maybe there's something that happened, maybe, okay, COVID is not this period, but hypothetically, I'm just saying that, but it is not our duty to give a reason at this point, because there's no justification. So as statisticians or data scientists, you don't speak when you don't have data to back it up, okay? But you can just give it an understanding that there is something that you need to check. So if you also check my conclusion, you will see that I made some comments.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah? Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Majorly, for those in this particular area, please go to the diagram, to the charts. We discover majorly weather always causes the issue for pickup. For those that are doing Uber Eats, DoorDash, and some others, all these apps that they run these this kind of business. So I can foresee that probably when they are moving towards winter, out of the winter period, that's why you can see the pickup from spring moving towards the winter, moving towards the summer. That is why probably it's the pickup, you know, that's why you can see the strike that you mentioned.
Okay.
So, you know, there will be a lot of activities, people moving up and down, people go out, visit friends, go to picnic, go to different areas. That's why you see a lot of holidays are there, institution close, you know, a lot of pickup can happen at that point. So I just quickly chip that one in, since you are working on the Uber case. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so we have an, of course, for us to even embark on this type of study, as we must also do our due diligence, and this information that Dr. K gave us, I suppose, but I treated this matter just as a question, okay? And though I did one or two research, but I think what he has given to us will also give us an idea of what we are dealing with. And like I said, okay, it is also important that we don't make inference, okay, when we don't have enough data to support our claims. Okay. So we also have this for the month, day in a month. So this is for each day between 0 to 31 day, that is in a month. We have the accumulation in the first day of the month. What is the effect? Second day of the month, total, what do we have? Okay, and we have it, we can see the pattern as well in this format. And at the 31st, it always from 20, this thing is blocking my, Okay, right from 26, 25, this is 25, 26, 26, 27 to 31st. We always have drop in the total pickup. Okay, this is an aggregate of the 6 months. The first day of the month in the 6 months, and this is the illustrations that we are seeing so far. Okay, so we can also check the month. Dropping the month of, okay, so let's go to the month. The month, February to April, where we have uniformity. Okay. So let's see if we decide to drop any of the months of this uniform, maybe from the month of April and February to April, each one of them, we'll try each month and see what type of diagram it will give. Okay, so what happened here is that we have isolated the month of February in this write-up, in this analysis. What we have here is the total months between January to June. Each day of it, that's 6 months. But this one now is our 5 months analysis. So are we saying that we're having, what is the effect of February? So if you compare the peak of these two diagrams, I think we can also say something very significant in this. Remember that it's not expected to be the same because the month of February also constitutes some numbers of pickup, but is it significantly affecting it or less significantly affecting it? If you go back to what we said here, if you look at this month of February, okay, which we have, there is no really significant movement from the month of February. Okay, just stand still. Though they are still making their money, but the money is not relatively changing. So you can just do anything you like. No, you don't just limit yourself to what I've done. You can change it to match and look at it too and speak to it. Okay, but it is important that we just look at every details that we can do. What I can deduce, your own could be better based on the number of the analysis or data you can consider in trying to speak to the data given to you. Remember, what we are only doing is to speak to what we see, not to look for what has not been seen. We are only speaking to what we are seeing, not to deduce that something is happening to something. By the time we get to inferential and machine learning, by the special grace of God, maybe subsequent, where we have some of our senior colleagues who have not spoken, but just watching some of us that are speaking. By the time we start that, all of us will enjoy this study better. Okay, so we have the hour of the day, which actually what interests me most. And we can see it is very obvious too, because it's also important you understand which day, which hour in the 24 hours give you best pickup or the highest pickup. Okay, so we can also speak to this. So even if you are not speaking to any of them, you should be able to speak to this. So you have it moving is very high at 1. I don't know what people are doing at this hour, but we can see the movement 1 between 0 and 1 is high. Okay, and it comes very low when it gets to 5. Maybe people don't go out. That's 5 a.m. in the morning. And from 5 again, it comes down to 5. So from 5:01, it start picking up till it gets to 10 a.m. as the peak for that period. And for them, so pick up, people stop using the Uber. There's a reduction in the usage, and it's moved gradually again. Something is blocking. Okay. But again, when we get to, you can give me this, it's not 20, it's between 18 and 19. Okay. Between 18 and 19, we also have the highest pickup. So that means that people prefer Uber at this hour of the day. So there is high pickup at this time. So if, for example, if I'm working with Uber, if it actually safe, I don't know, though it's not Nigeria, our case study is New York City. So it is safer for me. I make more money at this period if I work at this period and leave afternoon, because there's no much activity taking place here, though there is. But if you look at the number of people that were available, because the activity is low, you can relax and wait till 11. That would be 11 midnight. Not necessarily 11. This is 10. 20 is 8 o'clock. Okay, so 8 o'clock p.m. the pickup is high. The pickup is high, and the 7 p.m. is also high. Since 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. we have the pickup high. So when it is after 8 going to 10, it starts dropping again before it gets to 24. Okay, so let's look at the effect of weekdays, which this will also give to us. So we have Monday, Sunday. So okay, so we also have this Monday. I don't know why people don't use, maybe Monday people, they don't use it that much, but we can see that it's moving up. But when we get to weekend, which is Saturday, and from Friday to Sunday, no, from Sunday start dropping. Okay, but its tick is heavy, and the highest at Saturday. Friday is good. Thursday is also good. Good money is, you make good money between Thursday and Saturday. Based on this trend, the total pickup is high at that particular period and start dropping when it gets to Sunday. So we want to look at pickup based on the council. We want to look at it based on council. Okay, so if you look at the average year, it's even higher, which is Manhattan. Like I told you, for those of us that understand, this one is high, the population is higher than every other one. So it is averagely expected that this pickup is high here. So this man here is not doing anything significant, but it is also very important that we report it the way it is, that we have the highest pickup. The average pickup here is higher than any average pickup in other council in the New York City. Okay. And all of them have outliers. So sometimes there are pickup that will just spark up, not as a result of a normal, but maybe something just warranted that to happen. Okay, so we can also use violin as is, or it also behave like what we are seeing in box plots. It also speaks to data the way, but it's just another form of describing what's it called? Describing our data, just like what box plots has given to us. So if you look at, pick one of them, pick the Brooklyn, okay, which we have here, and Manhattan, did I pronounce it well? Manhattan, okay. Manhattan, you can see that the width is explaining based on the width of the violin, shows how spread the numbers, in terms of the width, okay? That's how he also behave and explain his own data based on what we have there. Okay, so based on what we have seen in the numbers of rider across the different, and which Manhattan has the highest number of booking based on this diagram, Brooklyn's and Queens are distance follower, while others have very low numbers of booking. So the demand is so small that probably it can be covered by the drop-off of the inbound trips from other areas. Okay, so what he's suggesting is that because it's so poor, I don't think we should waste our energy and trying to deploy Uber resources to that environment. Why don't we allow those that are there to do the drop-off than to allow Uber moving into this direction? So you can also look at relationships, okay? Hopefully, okay. All right, I will do that. So we look at the relationship between pickup and holiday. You know, we said holiday is pickup is a number, numbers of pickup, and holiday is categorical. Okay, so we want to see whether the pickup is being influenced by holiday or non-holiday. So yes, holiday, and no holiday. So we also still see that holidays is not, no holiday rather affects the pickup demand of the user of Uber. Okay. So we also look at the city and holiday. I mean, bureau rather, the council and holiday. Remember holiday, what we have in holiday is no or yes. Are you on vacation or not? What, where are you making the demand from? So we can see that these are the demand, the pickup demand from each of the bureau, from and those that are on holiday, and those that are on holiday and those that are not on holiday. Okay, so we want to check whether this trend is similar. Okay, so if you look at this 50 to 48, is like there's no much difference. Like 5342 to 529 and 2527. This one is 2. This one is not much, 2, like 3. This is not much, but I think this is much. There's a lot of difference here. It's not very similar compared to others. So Manhattan is people, the number of people that demand for pickup is not relatively the same with that are holiday with those that are not on holiday. So except Manhattan, the mean pick up on holidays is very similar to that of on a non-holiday. Okay, and in Queen, mean peak on holiday is higher on holiday, which is different from others, because generally we agree that not on holiday go more on use more of the Uber, demand more of Uber. But from what we are seeing now, here it is only in Queen that is different from that general effect, general happening or general average of pickup in that environment. Okay. All right. So I have just 3 minutes to run through what I have here so that I can hand over to what my senior people in the house. So don't worry, before the close of this training, I will look for my own, and I mean, those ones that I deducted that actually formed this, brought it together and send it to you. Okay, so what we have now is that we want to look at, because what the question is that to develop an actionable insight and make some recommendation. So from what we are seeing, we have analyzed a data set of nearly 30,000 hourly Uber pickup information from New York Bureau. The data span over every day of the first 6 months of the year 2015. The main features of interest here is the number of pickup, both from an environmental and a business perspective. Having cars roaming in an area where the demand is in another, or fill the streets with cars during a low demand period while lacking during peak hours is inefficient. Thus, we determine the factor that affect pickup and the nature of their effect. So we have been able to conclude that Uber cars are most popular in Manhattan. We can see based on the demand, it always has the highest percentage and pickup. Contrary to intuition, weather conditions do not have much impact on the number of Uber pickup. So from the number of pickup that we did, and we look at generally the weather, the precipitations, we have seen that it's not really significant. What we mean by significant does not mean that there's no changes, but that change is not, cannot make the difference, cannot make you a millionaire. That's what we are saying. Okay. For the fact you just made 1 or 2 does not make, I mean, that's what that is saying. So don't let us be a bit deceived by that. He said the demand for Uber has been increasing steadily over the month. So if you look at monthly plotting that we did, okay, we can see that the first one. Okay, so we can see that it's moving from January up there, okay? So it has been increasing. So that is what we are saying. So the rate of pickup is higher on the weekends as compared to weekdays. You can also see that between Thursday, Friday, particularly from Friday to Saturday, is heavy, and gradually in the later part of this Sunday is going down. So the weekends relatively is high. It is encouraging to see that New Yorkers trust Uber taxi services when they step out to enjoy their evening. So we can also see that in the evening, we see around 6, 7, 8. That is when you have the spark, you have this peak of us. So it means that people actually use it in the evening for something else. Maybe some other people do go use it to go to work or for relaxation But in the evening, it is evident that the use of Uber is more. We can also conclude that people use Uber for regular office commutes. The demand steadily increases from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then decline a little and start picking up till midnight. So the demand peak at 7 to 8. And that's why we also look at it at that in the evening time, there is high demand. So we need to further investigate. Okay, so this was supposed to have led us to the inferential to actually look at, to investigate the low demand for Uber on Monday. So because we look at it that there's expected that a lot of us, we want to have a meeting, we go to work. On Monday, there should be meetings everywhere. So everybody should try to meet up with, but we discovered that the traffic there is low compared to every other day. So what could have been the cause of that? So we could go further to check that. So there are recommendations is also given here based on the data that we're speaking to. So let me quickly go to, you can read it if it's there with those of you that can open it. So just read what I have there. We're not doing anything again, but we're just reading what I have already. So dig deeper to explore the variations of car demand, okay, which we are talking about that. Based on some of the things we have seen, well, we can't be conclusive. We can't really conclude, okay? And that's why we are only speaking to data. We are not inferring from the data. And the other aspect of statistics, which later we will be trying, I don't know, maybe when we meet the organizers of this program, by the time we all sit down and look at how convenient it will decide on what to do and how to help ourselves to conclude this series. Thank you. I want to pause here and allow one or two questions, but rather I will want you to ask, because of our time, I will, if Dr. Oke will allow me, to quickly transmute to something else. So if you have any question for me for this, for this class, I think we should just ask the next speaker. By the special grace of God, it should be Dr. Oke is laughing.
It's okay.
All right.
It's
All
okay.
right. Thank you.
Okay, let's go ahead and call him. Let him come up, and you can stop sharing while we are waiting. So the aspect actually we are going is just for us to have a touch of industry, and let's have a touch of what are the things that are out there that we can face. What are the day as a data scientist or as a researcher? What are the challenges? How do I be part of what is happening in industry? You know, it's another thing, the transition aspect of it, it matters. So that's what we want to quickly share more light. Then please feel free to ask questions. And over to you, sir. Dr. Ogusanya. So you can,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, sir.
Go ahead with the bow.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So please, you will quickly allow me the next thing, like Dr. Oke rightly said, we want to look at several other areas that we can exploit based on who we are and what we want in this area. And we have two speakers who will be speaking on this matter quickly to help us make our decisions as we are rounding up this program. Quickly, you will permit me to introduce to you our senior colleague, who is one of the supervisor or one of our speaker in this training, in the person of Professor, let me use that word, Professor Femi Ayola. Professor Ayola is a highly accomplished and respected professional with expertise in the operational risk senior data, and is a senior data scientist. He's a model developer, statisticians with extensive experience in the research, academics, and the financial industry. As a statistics professor at Jackson State University, United States, Professor Ayola has dedicated his career to educating and inspiring both undergraduate and graduate students in the field of statistics and its application. Prior to his relocation to the United States, he had over 15 years of teaching and research and community service experience at different universities, in Bowen University and at the prestigious University of Ibadan, where he successfully mentored and guided countless students in their pursuit of knowledge and professional growth. Dr. Ayola is known for his engaging teaching style, ability to simplify complex concepts, and commitment to fostering a stimulating and inclusive learning environment. In addition to his academic achievement, he has also excelled in corporate world as operation risk senior scientist and model developer at Citibank, where he's currently demonstrating his expertise in assessing and managing operational risk within the framework of the ICAAP, CECL, and CCAR by analyzing operational risk data, credit stress testing, developing advanced statistical models, and implementing risk mitigation strategies using tools such as SQL, RStudio, Python, SAS, MATLAB, Tableau, etc. Finally, Dr. Femi Ayola holds several degrees, but let me just mention the few one: HND, Ibadan Poly, BSc, MSc, and PhD, all in statistics from the Premier University, Ibadan. Dr. Ayola's accomplishments and area of specializations are big data, data science, data analytics, as the demand for workers with his data analytics skill is off the roof, and he has a stellar record of scholarship as evidenced by his record of single and co-author over 45 high-quality journal articles and conference proceedings. It is my pleasure to welcome Professor Femi Ayola to speak to us. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And it's actually nice to be at home, to be back at home. Please permit me to welcome everybody once again. Permit me to say thank you for joining. I mean, more importantly, the participants. Thank you for this kind of a step, for taking this step of, we can call it perhaps a paradigm shift. That, hey, listen, from where I am, I want to move to the next level. I say congratulations to you, all the participants. And of course, to our erudite scholars, the organizer, determined. Right from day one, I can see the mind behind this training. It's so heavy, it's so good. And if we have 2, 3 of this kind of an attitude from data minds, it means sky will be our beginning in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. Thanks to Dr. Segun Oke, Dr. Awukoya, Dr. Ogunsanya, Dr. Adesina, Dr. Matthew Ekim, and Dr. Adebuki. It has been very wonderful. I've been privileged to actually gain from your wealth of experience. I mean, all of you. And even the participants, the beautiful questions you have asked at one occasion or the other has really made me blessed. The time I spent here has never been wasted because I listen very coherently and they find out that we have a good people with knowledge here. And it's as usual. Thank God Dr. Oke is there. We are only privileged to be at this part of the world currently. Honestly, all we have learned from home, all we are still learning has been very, very beautiful. Has been read out. That's why I said it's my joy to actually come back home. We have a good number of senior colleagues here, which I actually acknowledge them. The younger colleague, I acknowledge them, and the colleague. It is my joy to actually be here. Honestly, this training, I can say it is a one-in-town training. It is very loaded. In fact, permit me to say, to start with, what we have gained to date, it's actually more than what the industry is even expecting from us. It only depends on how do we apply this knowledge. What Dr. Ogunson had just concluded with, the training he gave us this very evening, and that is the beauty of data analytics, which is the same thing everywhere. It's in Nigeria, but he's talking of a New York, right? It's in Nigeria, but he's talking about the Manhattan here in New York, right? How else, who else can have this kind of information if not data scientists? Who else will sleep and wake up and be given the inference? What is happening in New York, I mean out of New York, Manhattan, if not data scientists? And that is why I say congratulations to all the participants. Permit me to say, I think I have just 3 assignments to do here. One is to actually relay the importance of data analytics, which is what I'm trying to say. By being a data scientist, being a data analyst, or generally in the field of analytics, that is just the secret of words today, the secret of success today and tomorrow. We should not forget our country, great country, Nigeria, is oil producing nation. But the oil of tomorrow is embedded in the data. And that is why all my doctors, all my colleagues, senior colleagues in the house will be in Nigeria at this hour of the day, denying themselves from being in club, all of you, and being here, gaining this knowledge. Of course, permit me to use the language, catapult. This is what catapults you to the next level. Beautiful people, wonderful people, you are not missing it by participating in this, by being part of this. Please don't be deceived that you've not understood anything. Please, you are loaded. The fact that you are running and you are seeing some red screen that is having error, please do not be discouraged. You are in the right path. By the grace of God, I spent my years in University of Ibadan. By the grace of God, but unknowing to me that we are full of a knowledge, but we don't have the tool to drive the knowledge. I read statistics, my ND In fact, I went to College of Education before ND, before HND, BSc, MSc, PhD, good, fine title. But what do we do with it? This is where we make use of it. As good as those degrees are, in this part of the world, which I know Dr. Segun Oke could testify to, nobody even see it, nobody even value it until we are able to put it in practice. And the best way of putting it in practice is the kind of commitment you have shown. You have shown commitment because I can see all of you being consistent for the past 8 weeks. Thank you and thank you. Thank you and thank you. When all of us will not get to work with NNPC, but all of us can get data, we can get job as a data scientist anywhere we are in the world. Anywhere. We can't get everything we need. We are son of nobody, we are daughter of nobody in Nigeria. But the advent of a data and the data analytics has actually bridged the gap, whether you are a son or daughter of commissioner or of a senator, of governor, of president, it doesn't make any sense. Right? Today, we are in charge. I mean, you are in charge. I mean, the step you have taken, it's a welcoming one. And I wish you all the best. Now, how do I transform? Spend all my life in academics and coming to the United States and become a data scientist. Hey, listen, I face the reality. The reality is this: I don't want to come here and become a slave. I don't want to come here to do the work of a $10 per hour. Yeah, with $10 per hour, I will survive here. I will survive, I will pay my bills in America. But the essence of coming here will be defeated. I'm not here for myself alone. I think of the community I left, the family I left, the people, the friends I left. In order for me to really be supportive in my little way, it means I needed to do additional things. So that is how I moved from academics to industry. Yes, it is challenging to move, but we need to just take that step. Reason is this: today, we are knowledgeable than those that taught us. I remember all of us, we did statistical computing in our days in university. Maybe department with no desktop, department with no software, university with no subscription to any software. But thank God for the open source, such as R, such as Python, such as Spark, such as all those things that we have today. So while I was trying to move from academics to industry, please, let's get it right. It's not because of the kind of degree I have that prompted it. So with or without degree, data science is for you. With or without, you get it excellently. Data shows that 8 to 9 of every 10 youths from Nigeria will have at least a degree. I mean, be HND or bachelor minimum that enter into the United States of America. So also, Indian people, about 4 people of every 10 will bring degree from their country. Can you see? But when they come here, they are our boss, because as they come, they go into field of analytics, where they got everything right, right? When we come, we felt we are inferior. So we go into another direction. Are you with me? So what I'm trying to bring out here is this: moving from where our comfort zone now to the next level, please take the step. How you take it doesn't matter. You cannot be at the comfort zone and be fine. You must move out of it. And one of it is what you have demonstrated for the past 8 weeks to date. I salute your courage. I salute you and thank you for that. So to be able to do that, the skills you have acquired here, 1. 2 is you want to be able to have what you call portfolio, showcase yourself. Like for instance, at the end of this program, they are going to give us certificates. Please, it is very important. You find out that if you are to go and register on Coursera, edX, and so on and so forth, of course, you pay in dollar. Because what you have at the end of that training is just evidence that truly you've gone through the training. That is just an evidence, right? And it is very important because anybody that goes through your resume, be on LinkedIn or other recruiting websites, they want to see evidence that truly you spent some hours. Please don't mind whatever you think, no, but I don't know anything. Please, you know so much. Please, you know so much. Get out of that. I was tempted to, but because of my kind of zeal right from Nigeria, I don't even believe, I don't know. I know everything. Do you know I know? And I will continue. Thank God for what we have today. We have YouTube. And thank God for this Determined, the organizer. They are so magnanimous by sharing, what do we call it? Google Drive, script, and so on and so forth. Please, this information, I don't have it when I was in Nigeria. I never privileged to be trained over there. So coming here, I went through it, pays in dollar, right? So what I'm trying to say is this: let's take advantage of all we have learned there, and with that, we can actually move forward. We can actually do better well. Today, R Studio, Python, SQL, these are among the top 10 software. Of course, whatever you want to do, you must be able to bring data to your table first. And what tools do you use to bring data from database? What tools do we use? Class, I'm sorry. What tools do we use, please, to bring our data from database? Let there be response. You can tell, please. What tools do we use? We use our SQL, isn't it? Which we have been introduced to, thank you, to bring data to our table, right? Before we can work on it. End product is always good. Everybody will see our good and will say, no, I love the good. But that good must have gone through something before it becomes shining. So before we talk of graph, before we talk of XBAR, main, medium, mode, correlation, you must have ability to even bring the data to work with first. If you are unable to bring data from the database, because before now, data used to be in premise. That is when we just have a small data. But these days, with the advent of a big data, we have data in the database. While you are working on that same data in Africa, some people are working on the same data in Europe, in America, here, and so on and so forth. So gone are those days, I would say, okay, I'm coming to Africa, to Nigeria to come and work on data. So with the advent and the good use of a SQL, we should be able to perform our duty responsibly, right? So please, very important, the skills you have acquired. Let's go back to this note one by one and take advantage of this network. Because by being part of this WhatsApp group, I don't know whether the group will still continue or it will subsist, but at least you know Dr. Okay, you know Dr. Lumide, you know Dr. So take advantage of these people that are not easy to come by. Honestly, if I were to have 4 or 5 of these people some years ago, maybe my movement to the data science environment could have been faster than this, but I'm still very much okay, very, very fine by the grace of God. So please, let's take advantage of the training we have had. Let's get the evidence of the training that we have had, which will be the certificate that we can even post on our LinkedIn and so on and so forth. And I think in order not to take our time, because we may have a question, maybe in the course of question, I may have one or two things to share again. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I don't take it for granted, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We are happy and glad to have you among within us, and I know a lot of us will some more courage hearing from you from there that it is possible with data science to get to any heights that we desire for our lives. So let me call on, okay, before I bring somebody else, if you have any question for him, you want to ask any possibility in data science, data analytics, please let us feel free to talk to him. He's ready to support us in any area we want. Any area, as long as you want success, you desire this profession, I know he's ready to support us. So please, let's feel free to ask him any question that you want clarification on. Anybody with questions? Okay. Okay, yeah, they are thanking you, sir.
Okay. Please, who is ATM?
ATM want to give us money.
Who is ATM?
My doctor, sir. My prof, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
That's our speaker.
And other body, thank you. The same way you have known me in UI, please feel free, relate with data minds, and wherever you think we can, please, we can do it. All of us can do it. Yeah. Bro Shagun will tell you, it's a big privilege. I'm telling you, please, you can. Please, you can. Don't forget my Adolf Hitler quote. If can, every other can also can. Yeah, if we cannot get job with NMPC, but with data, oh my God, you are richer than them. You are very richer than them. I'm a testimony. Thank you so much.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Dr. Adegoke, you are the ones, let the prof know that you are the one speaking now. Why are you using ATM?
Okay, thank you, sir, for the word of encouragement. Anyway, I used to tell my people, and they know me for that this guy don't allow us to rest. And that was one of those things that brought the data mind and the vision. Without wasting much of our time, I would like to quickly share something. For as many of us that, okay, how do we connect? How do we get those jobs there? The jobs are rare. People are making dollars in Nigeria now. People are getting dollars. You can also join them. All you need is just the packaging. Just package yourself. How do we do that? Okay, look at this. Let me quickly share this with us. On your LinkedIn, just type data scientist job. You will see data science, data analyst. Let's say, for example, this on your LinkedIn, and you pick your job. So you can change this one. I'm in United States. That's why it's showing in United States. You can put any country you want or anywhere you. Don't disturb yourself about the experience or any level. You might not disturb yourself with, you know, his job. You can ask. If you don't really want to go into detail, just say the one in the past 24 hours. Now, in the past 24 hours, we have over 4,000 results. That
you are not sharing, sir. You are not sharing the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Can you see my screen now?
yes, yes.
So now this is where I started from. This is my LinkedIn. I believe if you don't have the LinkedIn, please go and get one. This is my LinkedIn, and all I need to do is just to search. Come to your search, place whatever you want to be. You can even look for intern. You can do any area you want. Like Dr. Ayola said, you can be anything you want to be with data. And the tools we have at hand, all you need, go to Kaggle, download as many data sets as possible. Use it, practicalize it. If they ask you, do you have industry experience? You have hands-on experience, which we are doing now. This is hands-on experience. So that hands-on experience can help you so many things. Now, you can search here. I can go ahead and search for jobs on your own LinkedIn account. So just pick this job. I want to know the date posted. Don't bother yourself about the salary, this, whether removed or just filter first. Date posted. We have any time. We have past month, past week. But I always like this. The past 24 hours, which is okay for any one of us. Just pick it. Then this is United States. I can change it to anywhere you want. So we have over 4,000 jobs already. You can create alerts. If I want the alert of this, I can just click this. It simply means it will alert me every 24 hours. New job is there. It will send it to me. So I can go through it and apply accordingly. If I click, let's say I want to be, some of us, we are good in statistical programming. Now imagine how much they will pay you here. 150,000, 115K per annum. Johnson & Johnson, 111 per annum. These are the pharmaceutical companies. They pay, you can see. When you see clinical scientists, does not mean you have to go to lab. You can click on it and see what are the job description. That is why you can see what the degree they ask for. But let me just go to one of them, the one that talk about this. For those of us in statistics, just pardon me. For those of us in statistics, look at this. What are the things? Let's just look at the job description. Look at the duty of this person. All these things, you know how to do it. It's because this company don't list it. You can even search for biostatistics. Any type of job you want. Look at this, biostatistics job. For postdoc, for everything, you will see it there. They will list them, what they want you to do for them. You are to support drug delivery. It's not you to make the drug, it's just to support them. That's your primary assignment. You are to develop protocol and data analysis plan. Look at it. And these are the things we've discussed. Analyze data and interpret the result. Is it not what we are talking about? Use your exploratory data and some other thing. That is why when Dr. Ayola was telling you about media mode, what he can do, it's more than enough. So all we need to do is to encourage. Are you in education? If you are in education, you can also search for it. If you're in accounting, if you're in any field, just search for it. We have the job there. If you know the particular company you want to go into, you can search for it. They have the job. If your own is academics, we have a lot. All you need is just to type assistant. If you have your PhD, they call them assistant professor. You see, assistant professor in which field? assistant professor of biology or English, let's say biology, or let's say accounting, in management, you will see. Yes, Akisanya.
Good evening, sirs.
Good evening.
Thank you so much. I don't mean to interject. I just, before I will forget, or maybe the privilege will not be given. I really want to appreciate Professor Femi Ayola. I can imagine what he's saying. It's like this course we are taking is taking us to the next level, because globally, there is no field you will not need data analysis. In fact, it's the anchor. So I count it a very great privilege. When my colleague told me that I should join, I said, well, I'm a microbiologist. I'm in a regulatory affair, but definitely data speaks a lot. With data, you can do interpretation, you can come up with policies, you can come up with, so many things, because it is the data that will be like an open door. So what I want to appeal, sir, we have gone through the 8 weeks. And to me, thank God for what Professor Femi Ayola said, that you shouldn't have that mindset, I don't know anything. You know it. Because whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. So I don't know. I wanted to ask her, how can we consolidate these 8 weeks? Because for me, I will keep on the practical level, on the understanding level, till I know I can confidently anywhere say about SQL and all those Python and all those stuff, that I will now be like somebody that is very knowledgeable. So how can we consolidate, all these 8 weeks we have spent, so that at least we know that this class that you have helped us will forever be grateful, and also in the coming future, we too will be a voice like Professor Femi Ayola today. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you.
Okay, thank you for that. Yes, Ogusanya. You want to say something?
Okay, myself, right?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Thank you so much, my dear brother. We have not done anything too much. It's too much to give this to our society or to our country. Is never too much. After all, it is to our brother, it is to our sisters, it is to our family. And as you said, in terms of a consolidation, thank you for the spirit that you will not relent until you know it, right? And I said something emphatic, intentional, that the material determined released to you, I mean, to all of us in this group, it's rich enough to actually take us to the next level. Please, if we have not copied and saved those material till date, let's do it. Let's have it in a folder. By the time you begin to run it line by line, right, you find out that you are good to go. I'm not telling you it will be very free of no error. No, you will be running into some error, and by that, you will be able to call on some of our facilitator. Say, oh, Bro Shegun, how do I do this? This is the problem I'm encountering. There's no big deal in that. Oh, Dr. Lumide, Dr. Ekim, this is what I'm going through, right? So they will be able to channel us. The first thing that we needed is the mind I can do, which you have demonstrated in your language now, that you can do it. And apart from the fact, thank God you made us to know that you are a biochemist or microbiologist. It data cut across everywhere, even the decision we make in our immediate home. You can't believe it. You cannot say your mean, like what we do in analysis of variance. That is, mean of 1 equals to mean of 2, mean of 3, when we are setting up our null hypothesis. Please, among the 3, 4 children that you have in your home, are you telling me they are performing equally? So in real life situation, all these assumptions will be violated. So all these assumptions of homosexuality, heterosexuality, multicoloniality, all this will be violated in real life situation, which is the same thing that Dr. Adekoya experience when he was talking about the data before Dr. Shegun made him put it across to us that, remember, during the summer, we have this, we have that. And you can see that at a point, a violation, it is expected that on Monday, we should have peak, but not in United States of America. People return to their base on Monday. So you may not really have as much Uber as you may think. People return to their base because they work on Sunday, right, in United States. So things like that, they are basic violations that one cannot overgeneralize, right, in real sense of it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So, and to also back what Dr. Ayola just mentioned, one of the way we are planning, which we are still going to elaborate it on the platform. For those of us that ask for the link for the platform to join the WhatsApp, the WhatsApp link is on the chat. You can click on it and join. What we were trying to do is, the second phase, we'll be talking about the machine learning. How do you deal with big data? What are the little things, that method you need to build on? You can't know everything. First of all, have that in mind. All you need to do is grab one and continue with it. We have a lot of people in the house that they are professors of statistics. We have a lot of people in the house that are guru in both descriptive and inferential statistics and the big data. But how do we apply it when we come to industry level? You said you are in the regulatory body. You know, each regulatory body has their own standard, what they measure. How do we meet up with the measurements? And look at, for example, if I work with FDA now, or EME, or EMA, if I'm working with them, they have the standard that you don't need to, you can't violate those standards. So these are the things that help us, and they use statistics. As a matter of fact, if you are teaching ordinary Yoruba, do you know you need statistics? Ask people in charge. You cannot make concrete decision without that analysis. So I just want to encourage us, don't be tired. I know the situation around us might not allow us to do that, but please don't be tired. We are still learning. If somebody with PhD in statistics still telling you that he's still learning from what we did, definitely some of us that we are not in statistics, we are learning too. So nobody is superstar. We are all learning one way or the other. That is why you see me coming when a particular instructor is moving on, I will quickly cross that. Oh, can you please lay emphasis on this? Not because we don't have idea, but because you can read the mind of people, you can see what they are chatting, and we are trying to come out. Look at it on the platform. We are more than 500, 400. How many of us on the chat? How many of us attending? People watch the video, agreed, because of issue of data or network and so on. But how many people also go through it again? So don't let us, for this effort, don't let it be in waste. Let's try as much as possible, put more. Then, like I mentioned the other time, are you looking for transition into the industry? You need a brand. You need to brand yourself. You need to, a time will come, we'll talk about the branding, probably after we finish our machine learning aspect. We will, the faculty will meet after now, and we'll see how we can quickly organize the machine learning aspects, and every one of us will focus on that. So thank you so much. If you have any other question, please raise up your hands. We have a lot of people in the house I can call that I will ask them to share their experience. But before then, I would like to call one of our boss here, Dr. Bisira. Hello, sir. I know it's hot spots. I want to, I know you won't like to stop, but you have to talk now. Sir, from your experience so far, sir, what can you say? And about what is going on out there, and with this little training we had. Thank you, sir.
It's been quite an experience. Right from the word go when we started this program, never knew I was not really in tune with what is happening in the world of statistics when I started learning. As it is said, learning is a continuum. And I'm very grateful to all the facilitators, all the orgas in the house. We have been so enriched with all this that we've learned so far. And I'm really, really very grateful to Dr. Ayola for the little he has talked about today. In fact, it's a very great eye-opener. For some of us who are not really very confident about ourselves, it gladdens my mind that with this, I can beat my chest and say, okay, know about statistical or data analytics now, other than all what we teach in the class and talk of industry-based statistics. I thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the inputs. It's not going to be well if we end this meeting without hearing from any female. I think I can see Ajayi Yetunde. I'm sure the person must be a female. Am I right? Oyindamola.
Tolulope is also a female.
Tolulope, okay. Let's hear from Ajayi Yetunde. Are you there? Please unmute yourself. Obiageli, can you please unmute yourself too? So that we know that we are gender balanced. Tolulope, can you unmute yourself? Please, you are free. Yes, Ajayi, over to you, ma.
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I want to appreciate the coordinators of this program. I'm highly impressed. And I love the words of encouragement from Professor Ayola as well. The words of encouragement has gone a long way for me because I used to feel I don't know. Anytime I kept practicing, there is always an error. So most times I feel dampened in spirit. But with what we have just said today, I'll keep pressing on.
Thank you so much, ma. Yeah, do we have Obiageli? Are you there? Or Tolulope?
Good evening, sir. This is
Good
Tolulope
evening,
on the
ma.
line.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, sir. I want to really appreciate all of you. That was last year. I went for one in the back training. That's where I met Dr. Ogusoya. So I actually thought this data science AI was for maybe computer science people. So it was there that I knew it was for all discipline, and I actually took interest. And this training has really opened my eyes and enlightened me more. I'm actually an academic, but I don't mind transitioning into data science because I'm really motivated. Thank you very much.
You're always welcome. You see,
All
when
right,
you're
sir.
transitioning, it does not mean you are moving to data science. All you need to do is just
Okay.
to tell them you have the skill of data science. Once they know that you have the skill, sincerely, the rest is settled. They don't need
Okay.
you don't need to say you want to go into data science. Just tell them if they ask you, can you analyze the data? Yes, I can analyze the data. With what can you do with R? Well, by the time you mention R Studio, Power BI, people will know that, oh, you know what you are saying. At least you know the tools. Then if you know the tools, then you'll be able to analyze the data and ability to be able to tell your story. just storytelling.
Yeah.
Tell the
Yeah.
story behind the data and the analysis. Over to you, Dr. Ayola.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks to all my sisters, my senior here, Professor Bisera and so on that mentioned something here, and as Dr. Tululope. You see, as Dr. Okay, as already said, we might not really need to do that kind of a transition, but we need to just acquire that skills. And with that alone, could you believe something today? My project, the project I'm working on, cut across about 70 countries. I relate directly with about 70 countries central bank because I was working on regulation. One of my brothers said something about regulation. What you saw on my profile the other time that they call ICAP, right? That is ICAAP, is a regulation in the financial industry. They are mandated every central bank to mandate all other banks to have so amount of liquid in their account. So what do I do there? People will look, are you a banker now? No, as a data scientist, you have office, you have place everywhere. I only produce estimates to show that what they are having is okay or is not okay, we can do further and so on and so forth. So we are saying this as a member of one family to praise God and to motivate ourselves and to say, as my brother said the other time, Brother Segun, even if you read Yoruba, if you read the CRS, even if you have not been to university, you have not been to Polytechnic, you have a room in the area of data analytics. And if you have had the highest that we call PhD, if you don't really have the mind, you don't have room in the area of data analytics. So our disposition, our kind of, we may not have 24 hours. We know what we are going through. No internet, no power, no this, no that. Yes, good excuse, but not genuine. So let's just work hard and very good excuse in our land, because what first comes to us is the problem. Oh, how will I do this? Please, you can do it. You are doing it already. Let's just go ahead. In your paper, you know, most of the paper these days, most of the journals, they will not even take when they don't see things that has to do with the analytical part of it. As Brother Segun said, even if you are writing in the area of English, Yoruba, they still want to see, they want it to be quantifiable. Please, it's not feed of a statistician. No, data science is not feed of statistician. It's a feed of all of us. All of us. And yes, we can do it together. Thank you. And you can see what networking can do. I never knew one of my brothers is there. We were together at Federal Poly in 1995, 94, 95. He's just starting with me now. You can't believe it. This is someone I've not seen since 95 to date. So this is what network can build. Imagine he's now the head of one big firm now. Then my interview is gone. Imagine you coming to my team. By the grace of God, I will tell you from behind. So thank you so much. Please, let's maintain our network and everything will work out for us.
Thank you so much. Obiageli, are you still there? Okay.
Yes, sir, I'm here. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yes. It's good to
All
hear
right,
your voice too.
Thank you, sir. I just want to use this opportunity to appreciate the organizers of this program. I have actually achieved a lot these few weeks that we have had this program. So, and from the words of encouragement and guys, I will continue to learn. And I believe by God's grace that this time I will get to where I want to get to, because I want to get more, as in do more into data analysis. Me, my first degree is mathematics, so I know I need this in whatever I want to do now. So, and I'll keep on learning. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Adeola Isaac.
All right, good evening, all. And Well, let me start by appreciating, appreciate all the facilitators. Honestly, if I must say something, I gained a lot from this program. And from inception, I've been participating. I think if you take attendance, you see that I'm one of the first person that I always join even early. When sometimes when people have not joined, you started playing music and you know. So I am I work in a financial institution anyway, and you know these two things. It was Dr. Ekun that you know made us to know this program is going on. He apparently put it on our WhatsApp group, and you know we have about 40, 50 there, but you know I have to quickly join and take the opportunity to you know join. We were together in Yaba Tech then. Apparently again, this is Dr. Ayola again, you know, just like what he said. So as I was saying, Dr. Ayola, I said, is it the same Dr. Ayola that I know? Okay, let me just, you know, put a chat. So honestly, I'm really, really grateful. And one thing I want to take home here is that, you know, this knowledge is something that we all need to, you know. When I begin data analysis, sometimes when I go to Facebook and see it, data analysis, I said, okay, let me be part of this. I read statistics, but you know, unfortunately, some of us could not go on as like Dr. Ayola and Dr. Ekun. So we found ourselves in the bank, you know, working in the financial institution. But later we realized that this is something that we cannot, you know, run away from. So I want to appreciate the facilitator, Dr. Ayola. I say hi to you. Thank you so much. I didn't see back Dr. Ekun in the meeting today. I mean, the class today.
Is there?
But my regards to you, Dr. Oke. Thank you so much, Dr. Oke.
We
We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Isaac, I'm here.
All right, okay, Dr. Ekun. Good evening. Thank you so much. Thank you. I was telling that you were the one that invited us to, you made us to share that you guys want to teach us for free on data analysis. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Ayola. Thank you, Dr. Oke. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Last but not the least, I have Mrs. Bright. Are you still there? Oh, okay, you are there. Yeah, over to you.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. Oh.
Okay. Okay. I'm May. My name is Bright.
Okay. It's fine. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Today is one of my happiest days because today's lecture was quite different from every other lecture that has taken place before now. And again, with the words of encouragement, because when I see data analysis or this data analytics, I always have one fear that it's something that you cannot comprehend so easily. Even when I try it sometimes I'll just get discouraged and just pull out. But today, with the encouragement that is coming, is something that is doable. And I'm happy that I'm part of today's lecture to hear all of these encouragement today. And with this particular spirit, I believe I can do more. I am already in the field of research. I work in NIFO, and I'm an agricultural economist. So it's something that I need, even at the PhD level that I'm doing at the moment. So I want to do more and I want to learn. I'm happy for this eye-opener today. Thank you to all the instructors. Thank you to Professor Ayola, Dr. Oke, and many others. I'm indeed very grateful for all the information that is coming from your end. Thank you, sir.
You are all welcome. Thank you, and thank you once again. You see, how do we continue in this spirit? Is for you to get data sets. Don't trouble yourself by writing new code. First of all, use the one we gave you. I just put a link there, kaggle.com. Download different data sets you can work with. If you don't have any problem, if they ask you, why do we afraid of data? Is because we've not have opportunity to venture into applications in different fields. Please, all you need to do is download data sets with Kaggle. If you are in financial area, download it. If you are in agri, download it. If any field, then begin to, don't go with a large one, start with small one. The way we did it, look at the one Ekun did in R. The way he just put your code and R, just change the name and begin to run it and see the way you can do it. And if you are stuck, look at what is happening in ChatGPT now. If you need how to interpret any results, you don't know, just copy the name of that thing, put it on ChatGPT. How do I interpret regression analysis? You will see it. They don't mark plagiarism when it comes to reports. This is not easy. All you need to do is relate it to data. Let's be encouraged. I will share one secret. I'm currently in academics, moving towards industry. And what I noticed, somebody said something to me, he said, please, if you don't apply, if you don't attend the interview, you won't know what they are speaking there. Until you begin to apply, attend the interview, that is when you will know how to do it well. That is where you will believe in yourself more. God will help us. So on this note, we are trying to round up. Any other question? Any other thing? Okay.
Bro Shegun, let me just say one word. As you said, because we will get to that level of interview. Please, you are not a failure until you refuse to attempt again.
Yeah.
You are never a failure until you refuse to attempt again. Some of us that cross to industry, we got to know, we got to learn during the interview. So we attempted several interviews. It is normal. There's no big day, right? Please, when you have the first one, write it down. You have the second one, write it down. And before we know it, honestly, the next one will just be your outing. The next one will just be your outing. So that's all I want to say, that don't be deterred with anything. Nothing should, please don't be deterred. You are very good and you are very fantastic. And I believe in you. For you giving 8 weeks, rigorous. See Ekum talking, see Adekoya, see all of them, very, very rich. See Olumide. No, please, you are very, very brilliant and you are very, very rich and is a doable. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Dr. Adeshina, are you still there? Dr. Adeshina, are you there?
I'm here. I'm trying to unmute. I'm here.
Yeah. Can you please round up everything? And so that we call it a section, a phase. Over to you.
Well, maybe we should also allow Ekum to speak before our guy eventually editor for us. Ekum, do you have anything to add to it?
I don't think there is anything I want to say. You have said much. My guy, Dr. Professor Yola, have said it all. Dr. K is there, he has said it all. I just think what we should just do henceforth is to try to encourage ourselves. Some of the codes we have, let's try to run them. If they have packages, let's try to install the packages and see how to run the codes. We can always adapt them. Since we now have this basic knowledge, anytime we want to accomplish any task, we can go online, just type what you want to do. You can say, how do I do this in Python? How do I do this in R? How do I do this in SQL? You definitely get some results, which might not be exactly what you want. So you can just adapt it since you know how to type, do some of this code, write some of this code. Just copy it, paste it on your notepad or paste it wherever I want to use it and begin to edit it, fine tune it until you get the results you want. Sometimes it's not necessary that you must know how to write code from scratch. Yes, it's good, If you know how to write code from scratch, it's an advantage to you. But if you cannot do that, you can depend on other people's code. Like what Dr. Gete said, it's not necessary you must be a data scientist, but you can have the idea of how to analyze data, and you can always use code, adapt it to what you want to use, and you run it to achieve your aim. So maybe that is what I just want to say. But I know after this particular lecture or these classes, the faculty will still come back for something in data science, purely data science, machine learning. I think it will not be far from now. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Dr. Sorry, sir. Dr. Adego.
Well, I want to boss
ATM. Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Learning requires time. All I have, I learned it on my own. YouTube and many videos helped me, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if not that I created time for it. As a matter of fact, at a point in my life, I resigned from my job because I saw that that job was distracting me. And I decided to go into this personal learning and consulting. And I could just imagine back in 2017, people called me to do training for them. At training, I was in as much as 250,000 for insurance, actuaries, all those. I left that convo. So just leave me. I knew what I was going for. So I'm not saying you should leave your job, but look for time to be able to separate yourself and sit down with this thing and get the knowledge. You need time. That time is not negotiable. Now, let me also take you to the journey of my PhD. I did my PhD in less than 3 years, even 2.5 years, and everything was done. What is the difference between me and other people that spent 15 years on that? Because of the time. While I had average of 18 hours on my studies, some people Swiss normally usually have struggle to have 4 hours to work on their research. So we can't have the same results. So for you to have results in anything you are doing, you need that time. And it's not negotiable. So whatever I think that is distracting you from learning, please just try and cut it short or trim them down to ensure that you create time. Because this rich training that you've had, you need time to go through them and continuous practice. People look for people with skills and knowledge to solve their problems. So if you have the skills, then the network as well. You may have the skill and don't have the network and don't have the strategy, position yourself strategically. Just like Dr. Oke said, go to LinkedIn, showcase what you can do. Your WhatsApp profile is there. What's it called? Status. People what you can do. People will contact you. More importantly, your network is important. Just like Dr. Ekun said, there's nothing you want to do that is not existing. It's existing. All you just need to do, you can just go to search. Even some of those packages for some specialized analysis, you need some packages in R, in Python, or whatever. So just go to package for conducting social thing, maybe Bayesian, whatever. Just take Google will take you to that package. Inside the package contains the code you need to analyze it. Adapt the code to fine-tune it to your own data, then you get your results. Most importantly, you need to know how to interpret these results. So if you have all this knowledge, you can be whatever you want to be. Even your research is the walkover. What people, research usually gives students nightmare. But once you have this information and you stick to it, you are consistent, then there's nothing you cannot achieve. There's absolutely nothing you cannot do. So you have to really have that confidence. You have built the confidence in yourself. Then whatever, even if somebody comes to you, please, I have a problem. I need to analyze this. I need to solve this problem. Don't say I don't know it. What is the problem? Give me your data. Let me have your objectives. Then go and sit down. Before you know it, you get the problem solved. So it's as if you knew it before, but you not just say, I can't do it. Okay, bring it. Don't say you can't do it. With this knowledge you have here now, there's nothing you cannot do. Let them bring the problem. Create time for it if you have it, but if you don't have it, you can turn it down. But know that on the basis of problem solving, you should not run for anything. That is why you have your internet, you have all the facilities available to you, and the information you have gathered here will take you to any level you want to go in life. Let me stop there because of our time. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ogunsanya, on this note, is there any other announcements from you, sir?
No, not yet. Just to remind them that we'll be communicating them on the issue of the certificates and the subsequent lectures to support what you have learned. And if you have any idea you want us to look at it together, all of us, we are free. We're all learning from each other. So you can come up on that platform, speak to us. We'll be glad to support or to work. Any idea in terms of data analytics that can help us as Nigerians, as diaspora, to to collaborate. We are glad. We'll be ready to work with anybody with good ideas, and that's why we are setting up this group. So we thank you all once again for listening to us. You did not despise us, that what are these people going to say? We are glad at least accepting us. And we know that very soon we'll know ourselves better and what we can do with each other. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay. On this note, we call it a phase. That's phase 1 now. So we're waiting any moment from now, like we said, we will raise it up for the machine learning aspects and how do we train this data set and some other things. So we'll go into that in different fields. And it might not be 8 weeks, normal 8 weeks. It might just be within, we just have 10 hours of it. We spread the 10 hours across the board, and you know that this boot camp is for 10 hours, and you'll be able to quantify with it, and you'll be able to work along with it. It might more than that, depend on the availability of the facilitator. So thank you so much. Thank you, and thanks, and thanks. Over. Bye for now.
Thank you, Dr. Oke. We're glad. I hope you also organize your research grants, how some of us can also benefit that. We'll be looking forward to that separately, apart from this training that we're doing.